Hello and welcome back to my quest to beat every single PlayStation 2 game ever. Today, I will be playing the 14th most sold game on the PS2, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. This game is widely considered to be the best Tony Hawk game. Personally, I like all of them, so it's not easy to choose a favorite, but this is definitely towards the top of my list, largely due to nostalgia. My brothers and I used to make dumb custom maps and play split screen for hours and hours. Great memories. Speaking of making custom things, the first thing you do in this game is pick a character. You also have the option to make a custom character, which I did of course. After 15 minutes of hard deliberation, Jimbo McGee was born, a 5'9", 5-year-old skater from La Crosse, Wisconsin with a dream of going pro. If you don't know how the game works, the main goal is to complete all of the goals in each level. Each level has its own unique goals along with other simple goals that every level shares, such as collecting skate, getting the secret tape, and getting points. You need to complete a certain amount of these goals to unlock future levels. I love going back and playing games I used to when I was younger. I like to see how much better or worse I am at the game. I also like to see if these games are actually good or if it's just the nostalgia taking over my brain. For Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, it's the former. I think I can speak for everyone who's played it when I say that this game is amazing. Well, actually, all the Tony Hawk games are awesome, but this one in particular just has something to it. The mechanics, the level design, the unique goals, the humor, the music, it all comes together for an overall incredible experience. When it comes to humor, the second level, Canada, has some examples of what I mean. One of the goals is to get Chuck unstuck from a pole, and when you help him, he says this. Another goal is to bury the bully who's throwing snowballs by hitting a tree and knocking snow all over him. There's also just a guy taking a leak off the side of a vert ramp. Yes, the humor can be crude and not that inspiring, but I don't care. That's the type of humor I enjoy, which probably says a lot about me. You may have noticed the collectibles that I've been getting throughout the game. These are stat points. Each one you collect lets you increase one of your skills by 1 stat point and can make the game easier. I'm mostly mentioning these because of a different collectible that I had no idea existed, that being decks. No, not that. I said decks, as in skateboard decks. Each level has one deck that you're able to collect, and after collecting it, you can use it. It's really nothing special, but I like that they're there because I love collectibles. I just happened to see one and I just thought, have these always been in the game? Does each level have one? To my surprise, the answer to both is yes. I have no clue how I didn't know about them. It has been a long time since I last played, but I remember basically everything else, so I feel like I would have remembered these too. Now, onto a different type of level, a competition. There are 3 of these levels, and unlike the others, you aren't trying to complete any goals. Instead, you are trying to impress the judges and get a medal to unlock the next level. To do that, you have to get points without bailing. I could be wrong with this, but I think it's mainly the amount of points you get. And when I say that, I mean that after a certain amount of points, there is no need to keep going because you can't really improve the judges' score more. And I'm not sure what that amount is, and I'm pretty sure it's higher for the later competitions. Or I'm just completely wrong and I'm talking nonsense. Regardless, the competitions aren't that hard. The main thing to focus on is not bailing because that really hurts your score. The only criticism that I have for this game is that sometimes it's not clear on what you have to do for a goal. For example, in the suburbs level, you have to help the thin man. And to do that, you have to find an axe in the construction site and then bring it to him. It's obviously not a hard thing to do, but if I hadn't randomly found the axe, I probably would have been stuck on what to do. There are some goals that show or tell you what to do, but can be harder to do and also sometimes difficult to find where to do it. Really, it's not much of a complaint at all, and the fact that that's all I can think of as a negative for this game goes to show how good it is. I like that a lot of the scenery is interactable, whether that be grinding the toilets and hearing a flush, getting hit by a trolley, or setting off metal detectors. You can also break glass and other things that directly affect the level. It all adds another element of fun to the game. Every level has its own unique features that make them stand out from one another. The pedestrians also have voice lines that relate to the current level. They also get angry if we skate into them, which is understandable. Some levels, like Skater Island, have secret areas. Some are easier to find than others. Like in Foundry, you get access to a secret area just for doing one of the goals that you have to do anyways. Also in Rio, there's just a wooden fence you can knock down away from the main area where there's just a pool to mess around with. But then there's a secret area in Skater Island. I was looking all over the place for the last stat point and I just couldn't find it. So I looked it up and I learned that the last one is in the secret area. The way you unlock it is by grinding on this pirate flag, something you probably wouldn't do normally, like me. Then outside, there's just an entire pirate ship on the beach. Other areas are just a few obstacles to skate on, you know, nothing crazy. This is by far the coolest secret area in this game. It's even cooler to me because I didn't know about it, and it's exciting that I can still discover new things in games that I've played countless times before. That's that's just one of the many joys in gaming. I really wish I kept making Tony Hawk games. They're just too good. I could play them over and over without getting bored. I'm not even sure what makes them so good. I think it's just a mix of all my favorite aspects of games thrown into one. Skating around doing sick tricks, racking up tens of thousands of points, bailing in drastic fashion with lots of blood, all the while going to all these cool places. It's awesome. I can't wait to play the rest of the Tony Hawk games for the PS2. You should definitely stick around for those if you're as excited as I am. There is a secret cruise ship level that you unlock by beating the rest of the levels. This has to be one of the best levels in any Tony Hawk game. I remember playing this level all the time when I was younger. It definitely stands out from the rest of them. You have regular places like skate parks and the suburbs. Then you have the irregular places like the airport and the foundry. And then there is just a cruise ship. Doing all the same crazy stuff on a cruise ship is just so bizarre. It has to be the ridiculousness of it that makes it so good. Plus, the captain is making funny announcements the whole time. There's also the vibrant colors and the fun of being on a cruise. It all ties in to make a very fun and memorable level. After beating the cruise ship, you unlock another secret, that being Darth Maul as a playable character. I don't know why Darth Maul is in the game, but I don't hate it. As you may know, each character in the game has their own progression, meaning you are able to replay every level with each character, finish the goals again, and collect all the stat points again. So you could argue that I haven't beaten this game, but for the sake of this video and this series, I consider it beaten. Realistically, it's everything I just did times 13, not counting the unlockable characters. So that's something I would do in my own time. If you're not satisfied, you can always replay the video 13 times and get the full experience. Okay, final thoughts. This game gets an easy 10 out of 10 for me. Yes, nostalgia plays a big part in that rating, but even without that, I had a blast replaying Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. And really, that should be the main factor. Did you have fun? Yes or no? I believe I have made my thoughts on this game clear enough. With that, the video is over. Thank you very much for watching and making it to the end. I appreciate every one of you for watching, and I hope you'll consider joining me on this adventure. Like, subscribe, and I will see you all later. Bye bye.